Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jeff Pirashad along with Jamal Kahok, and today we're going to be talking about a new release from DV8 that's called the Dark Side. As you can see, it's a bright red. It looks pearl, but it's actually not. This is a hybrid ball, and it's a low differential ball that uses the same kind of strategy and technology that DV8's been using in the design of their balls for two-handers, such as the Troublemaker and the Heckler. So Jamal here is a two-hander. If you've watched any of my videos before, you've probably seen him from time to time. And he's going to be throwing the new Dark Side, so you can kind of see where it fits as a lower differential ball designed for two-handers. Especially, it's not something that DV8 has made yet. So you haven't thrown this ball yet, Jamal, right?
I have not.
Okay, so the first shot you're going to throw is going to be what we see on camera. You'll throw it a little bit, and we'll try to, we'll adjust and try to see what the ball does. And we'll go from there and try to figure out what kind of, bowlers this might be good for. Maybe, it will be good for one-handers also. The Heckler and the Troublemaker have been great for me, and I'm a one-hander, so I'm assuming this ball will be great for one-handers also. So we'll get out to the lanes and let's see what she does.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so we're here at Strikers. We're ready to go. Jamal's going to be throwing the DV8 Dark Side. He's not thrown it before. This is his first shot.
Yeah,
so
I'm expecting this to be a little bit weaker than a GB4 hybrid, if anybody's thrown one of those. I'm going to stand 22 with my feet, looking around 13, 14 at the arrows to like 9, 10 down lane.
Oh, that's left. That's left. All right, first shot right up the middle. Look, and he strikes anyway.
First ball, baby. Hey, first ball strike. Oh, yeah.
All you do is throw strikes.
Oh,
is that how you shoot 850 every week? Doing that every frame? Okay, so the numbers on this ball, the RG is 2.48, but the differential is 0.036.
036, yes.
Now, I know you don't throw too many balls with those numbers, but the one you did have was the Radical Rattler. But you had that ball kind of trick drilled to kind of straighten out in the back and basically roll out, so you could use it on shorter patterns and play right. This ball you haven't done that with, I don't think. This ball you've gone 60 by 5 by 30, just to give it some punch.
I'm going to stand in the same spot and actually try to throw it good this time.
Yeah, let's have a good shot this time.
Keep my feet a little slower.
Oh, look at that! It's a good shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice and smooth. Does nothing crazy. Kind of what we expected.
This is going to be definitely something for when they get a little more toasty. I don't know if I'm going to be able to throw it more on the fresh, just because I don't know if I want to fight the lane. You got to play what they gives you, and for the most part, this is definitely going to be like a game 2, game 3-ish ball, where the transition hits just a little too much, and like my Widows and my 3D Assaults are going to be a little bit too early and too rounded off the spot. Stay in the same spot one more time there. Pick up the speed just a pinch and see what happens.
Ooh, got that right. Oh, wow. That read pretty good. When you got it out, it hit that dry and it read.
I said I'm going to pick up my speed just a pinch to see what happens. And
yeah, it read it, but it didn't overhook or anything.
No.
It kind of stayed there for a bit. So this ball, I want to talk about the cover and the core a little bit. So the core is called the Duality core. It's not a core they've used before, but the name is an awful lot sounding like the core that was in the Troublemaker, which was the dualistic core, and this is the Duality core. So it's basically the same design principles where you've got like scoops out of the core where two-handers can dunk their fingers and there's no thumb hole, so it doesn't compromise the integrity of the core when you drill the ball. So you kind of keep a lot of the core and what it's meant to do when you're a two-hander. If I had one, I would throw it as a one-hander, but I don't. And believe me, you guys do not want to see me bowl two-handed. It's a hot mess. Now the cover, you're probably at home thinking, oh, it's just HK22, blah blah blah. This actually does not have HK22 on it.
Does it not?
No. The cover on this ball is called Insider Hybrid. So I did a search through all of DV8's balls, and I don't think they've used Insider Hybrid on anything before. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, a little flat in the oil. All right. keep it in the oil. It just doesn't have the core and cover combo to get back there. 'Cause it's not a strong ball.
It didn't come off my hand the best. It was a little bit more of like a loft in the first part, so I wasn't expecting it to actually like turn that much, but still a good shot though.
So the Insider Hybrid, I didn't see where they've used that on anything, but I did see Insider Pearl and Insider Solid. The Insider Pearl was used on the Verge Pearl, the Damn Good Verge Pearl. The Insider Solid was on the Verge Solid and the Instigator. The DV8 Captivate, if you remember that, the green and yellow one. Ooh, that had some pickup. The DV8 Captivate had an HK22 Insider Pearl, and the Collision and the Troublemaker had an Insider Max Hybrid, not Insider Hybrid, so it was like a stronger version of this. So basically, this is a weaker version of the cover that's on the Collision and the Troublemaker, from best I can tell. Just in going through DV8's past bowling ball history.
I'm gonna move 2 and left off that 4-9. 2 and 1 left off the 4-9 and see what happens.
I like the way the ball keeps coming off the spot.
Yeah.
A lot of balls with weaker cores and lower differentials, it'll just kind of run out of gas and it won't do a whole lot when it gets to the back. This one seems to be able to hit the spot and turn left and not really roll out, but I think you move left and there's just a little too much oil for it. It's, like I said, it's not the strongest core in the world. It's a differential .036. This is a shorter pattern kind of ball, a dry lanes ball. If you're one of those two-handers that doesn't have a lot of ball speed off your hand, like this could be good for that, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and tweak my hand position just a little bit, see if I can get it to shape just a little bit more in the back from that same spot.
Oh, lost his balance. Bad Jamal, lose your balance. Bad. But reaction was good.
Yeah. I changed my tilt just a little bit just to get it to see it a little bit more in the back, and have it kick just a little bit more in the back.
Okay, so
I'm gonna
you've got a Heckler, a Widow, and an Endeavor. Throw the Heckler first.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's one of the more.
I'm gonna stay in the same spot where I started, 22 with my feet, and I have a feeling this is just gonna read a pinch sooner.
Yeah, this should read a lot. I mean, this is a stronger ball. This should just do more, I would think. Yeah, definitely read sooner. I mean, it's pretty much what we expected. It's just a much stronger ball.
Move 2 and 1 off of that. See if we can get this ball to shape and just get into the pocket a little bit better.
I mean, it's a dull cover as opposed to a shiny cover. It's a much stronger asymmetric ball. The Dark Side is not something that you would compare to this, but I asked Jamal to bring it and throw it because I think it's something you could say is a good complement. If you're throwing your Heckler in the beginning of the game or the beginning of your league series or a tournament, and it just dries up and it starts to hook too much, you can easily go from the Heckler to the Dark Side.
So this Heckler is reading a lot earlier than what it normally does for me. This ball, honestly, it's very covered, like very sanded out of box. But
this
for
one's
me,
kind of sheen. It's kind of sheen right now.
Yeah, so it's getting a little more down lane than it normally does for me. Let's go 2 and 1 off of that again. Bring our target in just a little bit down lane.
The big wheel.
It just keeps coming back.
It's just a lot stronger.
Oh yeah, big time.
All right, so you've got a Widow Mania. Let's.
I feel like the Widow actually is going to be a little bit more closer than you think. After throwing the real Dark Side a little bit more, I feel like the Widow just going to be
they're kind of
maybe a board stronger.
Yeah, I think most. Like those two balls will probably be close in the first 40 feet of the lane, and then you'll see the Widow go past that, where the Dark Side will pick up, but then the Widow will just make up for it and hook more, and the Dark Side will kind of peter out. Yeah, so
that was 22 with my feet, where I started with the Dark Side.
So throw the Dark Side now in the exact same place and throw the same shot you just threw.
I feel like the Widow for me is a little more rounded in the back. At least mine is. I feel like
should
they're
be-
both very clean through the fronts, but
Like this ball should be a little earlier as it's hybrid, but the core in the widow is so much stronger. Maybe that makes up for it, and you get them both to hook it around the same place. I don't know. Let's see. Got that in a bit. You got that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't cover as many boards. So throw one more with that.
I feel like I have more miss room with the dark side overall.
Yeah,
It
it's
sends
not going to do
things in
anything.
the pocket
Yeah, it's not going to do
than I
anything
do with the
crazy
widow,
or
yeah.
anything. You know, it's much more predictable. It's not covering as many boards. It keeps it in front of you a little more.
All right, let's try and get this one just a little bit farther, just a pinch right, maybe a board right from there, and see what happens. There we go. Oh.
I'll get those nines out.
Oh. I got it a board farther right early on, and it did what we thought. Picked it up a little bit sooner and just
Yeah.
drove a little bit harder.
Yeah, it reads sooner, but the core is weaker, so
It blends out.
it blends out. It's a lot more predictable when the lanes are a little wacky. That's probably a ball you want to throw. So we'll do one more with the widow, and then you also have an endeavor. We'll throw that a couple of times.
All right, so I'm gonna actually move 2 left off of where the first shot was with the widow. See what happens. So we're standing 24 with our feet. Just trying to keep it a little more in front of me.
Oh, lost his bounce again. Bad, very bad.
Dude, what can I say? This widow just strikes.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten yourself a Black Widow Mania, folks, go out and get that. But by the way, so throw your Endeavor a couple of times. This is a Brunswick Endeavor. It's a lot weaker. It's something you use when the lanes dry up a little more, but it's pearl, not hybrid like the Dark Side, and it's just stronger than that.
This I feel is actually gonna be like the closest thing on the market. Well, it's not out no more unless it's retired, the Endeavor. But this is probably gonna give you like the best sense of what the Dark Side's for.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start in the same spot as where I was with the Dark Side, 22 with my feet. This ball's gonna go a little bit
That ball
longer.
should be longer and stronger,
And a little
just
more
because
flippy in the
it's
back.
pearl. The core's a little stronger. Should be flippier, like you said. Yeah. It reads the dry harder.
Yeah.
Not
big
necessarily
time.
later or sooner, just harder.
It just when it sees the friction, it just
Yeah.
wants to flip.
Yep.
So like for me, I actually use this ball more on the fresh, believe it or not. When I have that little more of a defined back end, I tend to pull the Endeavor out just because I know what I'm going to get out of it every time.
So what would you move left with your Endeavor right now? Like 4, 3, something like that?
I'd move 2.
2? All right, so
I'd
move
move 2 and 1.
All right, move 2 and 1 and see what happens.
Standing 24 with my feet. Once again, keep the angles more in front.
Yeah, it gets back from there, but it's still a pearl. It's not a very strong ball. Throw the Dark Side from that same spot. See if it reads. Maybe it reads a little earlier, and maybe it actually strikes from there. You know, sometimes the board coverage isn't the best thing. You know, sometimes you just need the ball to stay in front of you and square it up a little bit, and just read a little earlier so that it drives harder, even though it's covering less boards. And maybe this is one of those situations. Yeah, you see it read earlier.
It read earlier, it picked up, and
But it hooked less. It
yeah.
covered less boards, but it hooked earlier and you were able to keep it in front of you more, and it saw it and it struck from there.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a lesson for you guys. And sometimes the bigger hooking, more board coverage ball isn't the one you want.
And it's actually flaring
Decent.
not a lot, but it's
about-
flaring
That's about
a
4
good
inches. For a .036 differential. You said it's a 5-inch pin to PAP. So 4 inches is decent.
I'm gonna move 2 left off of that, keep it more in front, see what happens. I did not keep it in
Dear
front
God.
at all. Oh yeah, no.
I don't want to end the video on that awful, disgusting shot.
I'm gonna make this.
No. Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this, but I'm gonna throw a real strike after.
Okay. The washout challenge by Jamal. With the backup ball? Really? Come on. Oh, wait, no. All right. So that's how you make the 2, 4, 10 guys. That's another lesson for you. Okay, so now you're going to throw it, and you're going to throw it good.
Yeah, I'm gonna strike.
See,
I'm gonna send something flying.
house bowlers, folks. Just these house bowlers, man. Their accuracy like a Windex bottle.
Put me on a pad and I'll still score good too.
Put you on a pad and that ball might wash out there too. All right. So let's finish this off with a good one. Okay, that should be better.
There you go.
Yeah, so it reads in the oil. It's not covering a ton of boards. It's able to read early enough where it has enough drive where it, even in all that oil, it can still trip the 10 pin out.
Yeah.
Whereas the Endeavor, which is a stronger ball, wouldn't come back from there.
I feel like this is going to be a good ball, like when you have those league nights where it's like 5-man teams where they tend to burn up just a little quicker and you need something just going to blend it out a little bit better.
Yeah, when the wet dry gets to be weird and should I use a strong ball? No, can't do that. Can I use a weak ball? No, can't do that. Can I use a long and flip ball? Nope, can't do that. This ball might be good for that.
I feel like this is going to be one of those balls where, like I said, like when the lanes get a little more torched, but you don't want to go into, you can't throw a pearl because it's going to be a little bit too responsive off the spot. This is going to help blend it out a little bit better.
Tournament bowlers should like this too, I would think, for when the lanes just get all wonky.
I feel like this is going to be a house shot hack. Put it like that. I feel like this is going to be like a house shot ball that's going to be good for a lot of people.
Okay. So that's what we're looking at for the Dark Side, and we will take it and do our wrap up. So be right back. So that's our review for the DV8 Dark Side. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you have any questions for Jamal specifically, leave them and I'll make sure that he sees them. You should just hang out in the comments section. You can just answer them yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for having me.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks again to the Brands of Brunswick and Genesis Bowling, and of course, thanks to Strikers Lanes for letting us come here and do these videos. We appreciate it. Special thanks to Gary the Lane Man for letting us into the building this early. We appreciate it. And until our next video, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a good one.